welcome to the podcast. How's it going?
Happy Tuesday, everybody. The days are starting to blend in now.
They really are,
Even
right?
though our spring fundraiser is shorter, like today, I felt like it was Wednesday, and it's not. It's just Tuesday.
All right. Well, that means that there really is only so much time left. So I want to make sure that we get everybody in that needs to get in.
Our podcast is a little different through the end of this week, and then Monday, that'll return back to normal because our RadioU fundraiser for spring is going on, which keeps our RIOT going, which keeps our RIOT podcast a possibility.
Today in the podcast, we talk about lessons you can learn from fighting at a Wawa. Nikki, I heard this, wants her McRib to come from one animal.
That would be nice. Actually, you could say that about any McDonald's thing or any technically anything you buy from any restaurant.
Gas station sushi and pandas have an eco-friendly way for us to all stay warmer. And then also today you will hear us. Let's see. What did we do during the show today? We did it's two bits of VR news, but
when we talked about it was far apart, but here it's together.
So I played a little something called Swarmvr yesterday that is nuts. It's so cool. We talk about VR fitness. There's a new headset coming that will just be designed so if you like doing the whole VR exercise thing, it's specifically for that. And then Pickle Chips.
That's perfect.
Which kind of
fitness and Pickle Chips
feeds into the discussion I feel like we had yesterday regarding onion chips.
Well, thank you guys for listening. And reminder, if you do have a chance to help support and donate, if you go to RadioU.com, you'll see the donate stuff all around. Put that you're a podcast listener in the comments section.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The worst of the riot. RadioU.
Man.
I told him, I was like, are you ready? And it didn't seem like you were, so I wasn't sure.
I was, and I was waiting for the...
We got that ending.
It's fine. It's fine. I tell you guys, Nikki is hilarious, and you need to spend time with her because Nikki's best stuff is her offhand stuff when we're not on the air. I think it's your best stuff. It's so good. We're sitting here, and it's quiet, and then she just goes, look, I just want all the meat to come from one animal, okay?
Is that so wrong? Because I know that every place basically you go to, you're not having a hamburger from like 50 people got hamburgers from one cow. It's like 50 cows all got ground up together.
Into one hamburger.
Plus like all the other mystery things and what fell out of pockets. Like it all just got put in together. And I wish we could eat and know, like, this is from just this. Like, that's all that was. But that's not how food is created, and I was just disappointed about that.
That's like that Portlandia sketch. Have you ever seen that one where they go
out to the farm?
To the restaurant and, like, they have a whole, like, portfolio prepared for them on the chicken that they're about to eat?
But
then they want to go see where it lived and who its friends were.
But then if it was just from one thing, I think I would be more upset about it because then I'm more sensitive if I knew, like, hey, this was from... This is from Becky the chicken. Yeah.
Now, Becky was excellent friends with Sarah and Lisa chicken.
But Becky was an older chicken.
And she was older, but she was healthy. And we've never gave her an antibiotic. Now, she had a sinus infection in 19. It was summer of 19. But she managed to push through that. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Enjoy her breasts.
I just wish
roasted to delicious and then sliced, breaded, and deep fried.
That's what I kind of wish we thought food was from places and restaurants. And I know it's not. I just think that's disappointing. Because it's when you open it up to all the things, that's when you're getting like, here's the stomach, and you thought you were having this chicken, but it's not.
You know, Nikki, by putting 50 cows into one burger instead of one cow into 50, that's how they're actually able to maintain a certain amount of uniformity.
Well, it's why when you go to, any fast food place, you're like, gosh, it always tastes the same.
Yep.
And that's also why I realize a hamburger's like 20% of the meat, and then they have like filler stuff, which is also questionable too.
Yeah. What if, oh my gosh, okay. You know how they're telling us like, oh yeah, we grind them all together and all this stuff. What if there's a massive underground facility where there's this prehistoric cow that they keep cloning, and it's like 500 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they've just been slowly cutting off pieces of that cow and sending it out to restaurants.
What's the word when it's that spit and it's the meat and then you shave it off?
Donner?
Yeah, well, that's like the German word, but then like if you go for tacos and stuff, they take it off of it.
Sure.
But Carrie was texting like, oh, you just go to a butcher shop. But I want it to be like made for me, so I don't have to make it at home. But I just tired of the mystery.
Nikki.
I'm tired of the mystery.
I'm tired of the mystery. You know what, Nikki? You need to accept that as an adult, there are very few surprises left. And so how exciting that when you go to McDonald's, you have no idea where the food came from. They have prepared one of the few remaining surprises left for you beyond college graduation.
But it's so good. And then you're like, I'll just take another Big Mac. And you know it's just not good. But I also don't want to make anything at home, so I don't know what to do.
It's like, I'm telling you, it's Christmas in a bag every time. You don't know what's in there.
It's the mystery
You don't know where
meat.
it came from. You're unwrapping it. But the one thing you know, just like Christmas, is you're going to be really excited when you get it.
Sam just texted, said, I grew up on a farm and it wasn't uncommon while eating dinner to discuss which cow we were eating and what its name was. I can't go that far. I can't know that.
But if you had been raised in that environment, you'd just get used to it.
I've looked at, I want to get like half a cow and then you just have it in your freezer. Cut up and everything. But
you've changed a lot.
Plus, Eric is pushing that. He's got a smoker, so he's really the driving force behind that.
Are you Eric's smoker?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
I just don't want all
Are you his little smoker?
I hope that's not my nickname. I hope not. Let's never say that again.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, last night I did, during the fundraiser, I always like to find a new game to play.
Yeah.
And last night I had a ton of fun and, only a little bit of time throwing up as I...
Was it a virtual reality game?
It totally was.
Little motion sickness?
Oh my gosh. I got this game called Swarm, and I was so impressed with it, I almost brought my Oculus in today. I was like, people need to see this.
I want to get motion sickness.
They need here. I'll hold the bucket. You play the game, okay? So the idea...
Hold my hair.
It's crazy. It's like kind of like your Spider-Man-esque. You got these grappling hooks that you just aim at stuff and shoot them, and you pull, and it pulls you up into the air, and you can swing if you want to. There's like all this stuff. And then, I don't know, there's these like robot bugs that you shoot at while you're swinging.
With the webbing?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was so blown away by it.
But when you get like motion sickness, do you think it'll eventually go away? Or is that always going to be there just kind of in the back of the game?
That's my dice roll.
Yeah.
A lot of times when it comes to playing games in virtual reality, what they'll say is like, okay, you just got to get used to it. And then once you get used to it, it's not as big of a deal. Right. And so I didn't even think I was getting motion sick. I'm just like playing. I played for like half an hour or so last night. And then when I took the headset off and I went upstairs, and then I was like, why do I feel so sick?
You need to take, what is it that people take before
Dramamine.
That? Before you get on like a boat or something.
I've actually done, some people do Dramamine for VR games, which the idea of taking some Dramamine so you can play a game seems
well, I mean, in order
insane.
to push your body like any athlete would.
Right. It's a performance-enhancing medication, but it's over the counter, so it's legal.
Oh, my gosh. So what if you were, like, going into a competition with VR games? You're like, anybody, it's not doping, it's Dramamining.
It's dramming.
It's dramming.
He's been dramming, I can tell. Look, he's drowsy.
It's like, look at that. He can handle this without getting sick.
I'm telling you what, Nikki, I think even you would like it.
Oh, I'm not gonna. I don't want to get.
Try it?
No, man. If I get any sort of that sickness, man, I get a headache for days.
Yeah.
Days.
I haven't done it yet,
worth it.
but I've been meaning to send it I want to show it to Eric because I was like, man, Eric, you got to see this.
And what is it called? Swarm?
It's called Swarm.
Swarm.
And it, like, again, it's the dumbest thing. But you know what? I have had, in the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 friends get Oculus Quests. So there's some renewed interest.
Using up the stimulus checks?
Probably. There's some renewed interest for me because and now here's the part. It's so ridiculous. It's never going to happen. So I've got one friend in particular. It's like, we got to play together. We got to play together. So he's picked a game out.
Yeah.
The game is $40, which I consider to be pretty steep for a VR game. And I just know that the second I buy this stupid thing, he's going to be like, oh, I returned my Rift and I never want to play it again, so forget it.
That's probably what's going to happen, which means if you make sure you take Dramamine before that, maybe it'll help not be so upset.
I won't be so upset about it.
Yeah, when your friend does that to you.
It's fine. It's fine.
Something to listen to when you meant to work out but tripped into a box of donuts. This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Nikki, I got to throw in one more text from Meg. Meg says, hey guys, absolutely no to gas station sushi. Not even Japan sells gas station sushi, and I'd trust their cleanliness tenfold over ours.
Sure, you're supposed to not, even though, again, with this story, they're saying that what this woman got was probably in the fish all along and has nothing to do with the oversell date on this because it was expired, or maybe that didn't help the situation out.
Hey, listen, say what you want.
You think the two are combined?
Say what you want.
Gosh, this lady really got something bad.
Tainted source from now on. Now, this comes from The Takeout, which is a blog from the Daily Mirror, and then they have followed this up with Chubby Yumu, which someone had texted about. So here's the idea. This woman, she goes home. She bought gas station sushi. It was in the fridge. It was past the sell date.
About 5 days, I think is what they were saying.
So she was like, you know what?
So it was a little sour.
You know how it is when you're hungry and you're really tired and you're just like, you know what? Even
you're
if
rolling the dice and you're fine.
I'll be kind of sick tomorrow, but right now I don't care. This lady really should have cared. She goes to bed, and then all of a sudden, as tired as she is, she's got insomnia. Then she begins to have anxiety and confusion and an elevated heart rate.
And that's not just the first night. This develops into this.
This keeps going. It's not 30 seconds later this all starts. She said she started having an elevated heart rate and that it felt like her heart was beating out of her neck. Then she started having stomach cramps, and this is my favorite.
Aww.
She said she could feel her stomach jiggle before she went to the bathroom. It's moving.
Oh, and so then at this point, they said she was really malnourished. You're like, well, she was still eating stuff with it, but she would just be so sick constantly. But they were like, well, wait, why are you still malnourished? She would have hallucinations of bugs crawling up the walls and under her skin, along with the anxiety. So she was really a mess at this point.
Then she started having seizures. And then the doctor was like, wait a minute, you're passing tapeworm eggs.
So she had a huge tapeworm in her. When I looked, they say they can grow up to 9 meters long, which is 29 feet long. They don't know how long, or they don't say how long hers was. But they take tapeworms suck the vitamin B12 out of you.
Yes.
So when you have a lack of vitamin B12, if you're very anxious and stuff, sometimes they say that can be a telltale sign that you are lacking in this, because that brings the anxiety, the insomnia and stuff. And it was basically taking all her nutrients from her.
Yeah. So we don't know how, but they got the tapeworm out.
Well, it's a dose of a anti-worm medicine, which I've only ever had for my pets. I don't like to think that's a human thing too. And she made a full recovery, but they were just commenting on that.
Nobody get mad at me for what I'm about to say.
Sure.
But I'm just going to tell you, if I took the anti-worm stuff and then, it doesn't just disappear.
I don't want to. No, I think it does. It burns up in your stomach.
I just want you to know that I don't know.
I'd be at the hospital. I'd be at the hospital.
You're at the hospital.
I would have to be there until things were fine.
I'm going to need you to knock me out
or
give me the Twilight or whatever it is. The stuff that makes you not remember.
Oh, I want to wake up 15 days later. That's what I want. Everything's good. You've recovered. You're fine. But I need that. I need to be not available.
Can I just have surgery?
Can you just take it out?
Can you just take it out? And they're like, that's not a good option. Well, it might be.
I'll pay for it, please. But yeah,
tell my insurance company whatever you have to say.
I know, what's the code for that? But that's what it was. And again, that was from the fish.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, no gas station. No, I don't want any sushi.
They said if you ever have insomnia or anxiety problems and you never used to have it, that is a sign where you should tell your doctor that perhaps you do have a tapeworm. That's when you should speak up.
Nikki, I get insomnia and anxiety all the time.
I know, but it's not me. I mean, it's not.
So now you're telling people, you're telling a room full of people with anxiety it might be a tapeworm.
No, and it's also a really hard time because the doctors don't necessarily want to work with you unless you have COVID at this point. And if you have other things, you're just kind of pushed to the side. They would never see you for this. You just have to deal with this.
Hey, I heard Dr. Nikki on the radio say it might be a tapeworm.
He said if you've never had it before.
I've got to get in there, doctor.
No, and doesn't that sound like you're lying too? Like you just looked it up online and that's what you came up with based on your symptoms?
That's what I heard. It's a tapeworm.
No, just say you heard a medical doctor. It's not me, but you just heard someone talk about it.
Just remember today, if you feel anxious.
No, and you're losing sleep.
Yeah. It's probably a tapeworm.
Fine.
So just go ahead and add that to your COVID list of things to be terrified of.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, it was yesterday here on the show that we confronted the fact that evil is real in the world. It exists. And we can point to Trader Joe's to prove that it's real.
You don't like onions. He didn't like something that Trader Joe's was
Trader Joe's is putting out onion chips.
Making waves about. Do you know how many people who texted and messaged us later in the day who wanted to like dash you a bloomin' onion because you hate onions? So they just wanted to send you stuff. And I said, let's not do that. Let's not instigate. Don't poke the bear.
You know what's fun? I mean, go for it.
Actually, if you did, we'd eat it.
If you want to waste your money, everybody else will eat it. I won't.
I know. It won't actually hurt them, but there was talks of that.
I hate
onions, yes.
Onions.
Yeah.
Like, I hate them. You know what else I don't like?
What else?
Pickles.
Pickles and onions. There's the things.
Like pickles, I can... Like, if I had to, I could live. You understand? It's the difference between sudden death and slow, painful death. All right?
That being the onion?
Right. So, I just don't understand. Have we
about pickled onions?
Has the lockdown gotten so bad that we're so desperate we'll just eat anything?
Well, what else is there?
Pickle chips.
Pickle chips?
From Pringles.
You've not... Oh, okay. So, like, you can do pickled chips, which are the deep-fried slices of pickles. That's a good appetizer right there. That I know you won't eat it, but that'll do good.
Of course I won't.
But you're saying it's pickled flavored Pringles?
I don't think it is. I mean, it must be, actually. So the idea is, and Nikki, they're wavy.
Ooh, I love a good wave.
You love wavy chips.
I love wavy chips because they're waving at you. They're like, eat me.
Nikki likes the ridges where the flavor can get lost and she can get lost in the flavor.
Well, I think they just, they taste a little better. There's a little something to it, a little substance.
Okay. Well, you know what? Here you go. Deep fried pickle. It's the new flavor from Pringles.
Bring that on. Those look good. Well, you'll hate it, but then that's more Pringles for me. When do these come out?
Oh, you can find this limited edition can of Pringles. Dollar General.
At the Dollar General stores
Is there
nationwide.
Dollar General around here?
It's down the road.
Okay. I know where it is.
Yeah, throughout April. It's April.
It is April.
It is April. What are we supposed to do? And they say it might be good if you dip it in ranch. Like if you dip the Pringle chip in.
Gosh, boy. Like, I know. What can we do to take this flavor that's bad and make it worse? Why don't we dip it in ranch?
You don't like it. Why don't you find something you like?
I do.
What?
Barbecue,
and
honey mustard, chicken fingers, burgers,
nuggets,
steak, nuggets.
I'm talking like a side, some sort of side flavor.
French fries.
What else?
Mashed potatoes.
That's
sweet
not
potatoes.
A potato. That's not a potato.
Sweet potatoes aren't potatoes. They're yams.
Okay, well, it's not in that... I win. Good for you.
That's what this is about. The riot is every conversation we have. It's about winning.
It's about winning. Great.
What Nikki doesn't know is I've got a little notebook where I'm keeping score.
Gosh, and what do you get when you win? Do you get a big onion?
I get the satisfaction of knowing I'm so much better than you.
Oh, my.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
I'll tell you that across this great nation, what we're seeing is temperatures dropping. It's called winter.
Yay.
It's the time when the earth tilts away, and in the southern hemisphere, they'll be experiencing summer. But in the northern hemisphere, we'll all be up here starting to think global warming might really be a thing. It's cold outside, so
Hey.
What?
Hey.
It's a whole thing. It's still cold in my flat. So all that being said, I think all of us should be looking into more environmentally friendly ways to keep ourselves warm.
Okay.
And so, Nikki, it's interesting, but you like bears.
I
right?
love bears.
What about panda bears?
Panda bears? All 4 panda bears.
Okay.
Am I supposed to hug them for warmth?
So do you know how it is that panda bears keep themselves warm during the winter?
They eat, don't they? You just keep eating?
Well, that's one of the things they do. Sure. Keep
Check.
eating. That's the answer to all of life's problems.
Suddenly we're all a little warmer, aren't we?
Yeah.
I thought they would continuously eat bamboo and that was just kind of warming your body.
No. They roll around in poop.
Oh.
Fresh poop.
Oh, is that important?
Because it's warmer.
Oh, gosh. Well, we all have our unique things.
This is,
It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just what it does.
I would say this is a very...
It's not like it has blankets, so it's fine.
It's quote unquote a very green way to stay warm, but...
I'm not doing that.
Might be a little...
No. Does that mean you don't have a toilet or like what's going on here?
I don't know, but...
Can you imagine finding someone who's doing that and just what all goes with that?
I'm watching a panda right now roll around in a big pile of horse manure as a way to stay warm.
You mean they would bring in horse poop for it?
Well, they're out in the wild.
Oh, weird. So
yeah, I mean,
weird.
at the zoo, hopefully, they probably have they probably got a Google Nest that speaks panda.
It's just awful.
Brings it up and down. It's voice controlled.
Well, I think there's other ways. I see Amazon blanket deals every day.
Yeah.
So I would just rather load up on blankets.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fine. But, is that blanket responsibly sourced?
It is.
Are you sure?
It is. I responsibly bought it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Because there are other options, Nikki. You know what? Just saying.
So maybe I should take off the list hug a panda as my bucket list for the future.
I just want you to go in fully informed. Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm trying to do.
Wow, why are you so warm there? You have no idea.
I have COVID, so I've lost my sense of smell.
I'm sure a panda doesn't smell so great anyways, but that's just, animal stuff.
I'll bet baby pandas smell awesome.
Oh, cotton candy.
And done. That's all I got.
Do you think all bears roll on their poop then? Just not just panda bears, or is that what they've known?
I don't know. I just have photographic evidence of this panda who's just like, it's cold and I don't care anymore.
Stop looking at me.
What do you care?
Don't judge me.
Okay, Google, raise the temperature 3 degrees.
I'd rather just try the approach of keep eating. So I'd rather do that.
That might lead to
the more of the other stuff.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I know we already talked about VR a little bit earlier in the show today, but I got another virtual reality thing for you, Nikki. So the people over at HTC, they make phones. They also make virtual reality headsets, and they have leaked, which is probably the plan all along.
I know. You said it truthfully when you said they leaked.
The HTC Vive Air. So here's the idea. This will be a virtual reality headset that's built basically from the ground up for fitness.
Yeah.
So the idea is all of the stuff is removable, like the exterior stuff, and it's kind of sweat proof so you can clean it and all those kinds of things.
But would you be wearing more than other virtual reality stuff? Because you would want something on your legs or your arms? Or is it just the headset?
Well, it's the headset, and I don't know if there would be controllers or maybe some wrist trackers. In the photo here, the fitness model is wearing bands around her arms and hands that I don't know if I can honestly say I don't know if they are a fashion statement or if they are meant to be
functional with it.
Functional. But the idea is that they say that the one of the biggest growth things during the pandemic has been exercising at home, and VR exercise has been a huge part of that. They say that's actually been the one thing about virtual reality that has really taken off is that people like it because, one, it gives them a workout, but two, it makes them feel like they've gone somewhere else to work out.
Oh, yeah, because, at-home workout, when the gyms have been all closed or were all closed, or if you're still hesitant to go back to a gym and it's not, it was a pain to go before all this, but now with all the other stuff, it maybe is not as enjoyable as it used to be.
Right.
Everybody just wants to work out at home. awesome.
And it makes sense. So there's no details as far as like a release date, though people are expecting to see a bunch more of it here in a couple of weeks.
And you said HTC?
HTC. It'll be called the Vive. Wait, let me make sure. The
Air?
Vive Air. And again, you'll be able to essentially take it apart and clean every part of it. That is one of the things that is a bummer. I have that Oculus. When you do fitness stuff in it, you sweat. And then it's like, I think I'm getting it cleaned off. I don't know.
They didn't think everybody who was just gaming would sweat with just the gaming, let alone with a workout thing.
Well, man, I'll tell you what. You swing your arms around for an hour, you're going to sweat a little bit.
Some of it is a workout.
So, but it's coming. And then, Nikki, you can start your home workouts in VR now.
Oh, yay.
Woo.
Oh, yeah. So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. Do you hear it?
I feel the...
Maybe after the fundraiser, I'll be more excited.
I feel the anticipation.
Just can't wait.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
So I'm dealing off of two working theories here. A lot of times, Nikki and I, we spend a lot of time looking at the news. And I feel like often it is an opportunity for us to learn from the mistakes of others.
Sure.
So, Nikki, well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the story, and then I'll tell you two of the things that I think that we can learn from this, okay? It's in Florida. Lauderhill.
Is that one? No, season.
It's the drain. Stay out of the drain.
We have a lot of lovely Radio U Florida listeners, so.
We got two guys in South Florida. Don't know what started. One of the men opened the door for the other.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. I don't know why.
Some people get mad with it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why either, but.
Okay. All right. That's a whole other discussion.
It is.
So open the door. One of the guys gets mad. They start fighting. And I mean like fist fighting. In the middle of this, one of the men loses his pants.
Maybe they were lower to begin with.
Okay. Now, this is a side note. I wasn't going to go here, but Nikki, we're fighting. Your pants fall down.
I would stop fighting.
It feels like the end of the fight.
It does, doesn't it? Like
it does.
Actually, I feel like it brings a bit of humor into it. Like maybe we can laugh it off and just be like, "Oh, let's not fight anymore."
Like it just to me, it just feels like, you know what? Pants are down, party foul, fight's over.
Hug it out.
Maybe not. We'll pull the pants up and then hug it out.
Up and then hug it out.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, there's that.
Is that not what happened in this case?
No. They just really, really keep going. There's video if you want to see it, but there's really nothing like two grown men, larger than maybe average, or in the United States, maybe just average. Fighting at 2 a.m. near the hot dogs.
Oh, gosh, it gets worse.
Yeah.
See, we watch a lot of fighting videos of like the public freak out ones on Reddit forums, but when your pants fall down, then you're on a whole different freak out public forum with the fighting. So you should have just stopped.
Okay. So here's the two things I think we can learn. I feel like the first one is probably we can't have nice things.
Is that the biggest one?
Wawa is nice.
Oh, is that where it was? You didn't even say that.
I didn't say
it? You didn't even say it was at a Wawa. That's a gas station. That's like home base for us guys. We like Wawas.
We can't have nice things.
No.
That's one.
That's one.
And
you gotta ruin it.
Here's what I'm starting to think. I think we need winter.
But in Florida, that's not happening.
I know. And I think that might be the problem. I think you need winter to somehow flush something out. I don't know what it is. It kills the snakes, and maybe it kills something inside all of us. So when you don't have the cold, you end up with Everglades full of snakes, and you end up pantsless fighting at Wawa at 2 a.m.
Well, I also want to throw in, maybe we don't need to be out at 2 a.m. at Wawa's.
Well, we don't know. Maybe they're delivery drivers. Maybe they got a truck full of PlayStation 5s, Nikki.
I don't think so.
We need them out there. They're fighting the good fight.
We need them delivering. I don't know.
All right. The lessons aren't clear, but I feel like there's something to learn here.
Oh, no, I think some of the lessons are pretty clear.
You saw them?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Lesson number 4. Buy a belt.
Well, just have pants that fit. Maybe they lost weight.
I don't think that's it.
It's not.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
You can keep your drugs. I'm organizing.
Organizing.